This presentation is about the Walkbridge program in Norwalk, Connecticut. The Walkbridge program is a 5 to 6 year project that replaces the 120-year-old rail bridge over the Norwalk River. The project must be carried out with minimal impacts on a rail line that carries approximately 250 trains and 125,000 passengers per day. There are approximately 88,000 residents in Norwalk that could potentially be impacted during this construction. Impacts are likely to include mostly rail, some noise and vibration, and little traffic impacts on the residents of South Norwalk. Ryan is one of those residents in South Norwalk. He is also a businessman who commutes daily to Danbury for his job. Although he is committed to work and is rarely late, Ryan also enjoys going out at night, which causes him to sleep in late on many occasions. Today, Ryan gets out of his apartment just in time to make it to work, but he is stopped by some unusual traffic on his regular commute. He starts to panic and is visibly frustrated that he will not make it into his 8 a.m. meeting with his boss. Ryan sees a detour sign and decides to take the detour. As he continues on the detour, he is pleasantly surprised that the traffic is flowing smoothly. He calls his assistant to set up the meeting room for him. On this detour route, Ryan notices some construction signs put on by the Walkbridge program. They alert him that his route to work will be impacted over the next few weeks and that he can go online to the website for more information. Ryan arrives to work on time and is actually 10 minutes early for his meeting. Because he's surprised that no one's in the room, he notices that everything is set up and ready to go, so he uses his smartphone to look up the Walkbridge program. On this website, he notices that there are many ways that he can sign up the same forms on the Walkbridge program. Although the website is very informative, Ryan chooses to follow the program on Twitter as well to keep the most up-to-date information and daily alerts on traffic impacts. Ryan's meeting starts, and soon later, his coworker George comes in, 10 minutes late, causing the boss to call him out for his interruption. Ryan is really relieved that this was not him. After the meeting, Ryan hangs back to talk with George. George says he was not aware that there was going to be road work in Norwalk this morning, and that the traffic caused him to be late. Ryan smirked and told him to go to the Walkbridge website and sign up for these traffic alerts. That night, Ryan looks through Twitter before he goes to bed. He sees the daily update from the Walkbridge program and views the map of the area that will be impacted for his morning commute. He writes a reminder in his phone to take Washington Street to work. Like Ryan, all Norwalk residents can sleep in comfortably when they sign up for the Walkbridge program alerts by email, website, or social media. In these next series of slides, I show how I used the golden ratio to revise my previous slides to be more visually appealing. The use of dark blue, yellow, and white in this presentation comes from the branding of the Walkbridge program, as you can see by the logo. Simple and clean font such as Arial is also used throughout to mimic the project's website and marketing materials. I use the golden ratio to draw the viewer's eyes to the logo in this slide. The first slide about the program is my infographic. I use the golden ratio to keep the visuals left justified. The infographic demonstrates the amount of people potentially impacted by the project and potential types of impacts. On this slide, the golden ratio positions Ryan as the focal point. The bullets are secondary and lead in to describe Ryan as the protagonist. Though there is a GIF on this next slide, I felt it was more important to draw people's attention to the fact that it was already 7:30 a.m. when Ryan first hits traffic, and that he has an 8 a.m. meeting to make with his boss, which causes him to panic. The focal point on this slide is the detour signage. I purposely kept the top of the slide blank so that the viewers could see the road disappearing into the horizon. I kept the font below this imaginary horizon on purpose to make it seem like it was in the foreground. I I used the golden ratio to crop this image of Ryan driving and focus on his Bluetooth in his ear as he calls his assistant to set up the meeting. I repositioned this slide to change things up and try placing an image on the left-hand side, with the font on the right to draw attention back to the image and, more importantly, the signage that is in the photograph. As you can tell in the photograph, there's also a golden ratio applied so that your eye looks at the signage. For this slide, I centered the time on the TV screen on this slide, which immediately draws attention, but then the main focal point is actually Ryan's hand going into his phone to look up the information on the project. I repositioned this infographic so it draws the most attention, particularly the stay involved by logging into the website information. I then positioned the hand clicking on the Twitter logo at the top as well to pull the images together using the golden ratio. The images on this slide are positioned on the spiral so that the text leads to the first image, which then brings focus to the GIF, which is of the consequences being late to a meeting. This slide is similar to the last so that when viewers would first notice the image, then their attention would move to the main point of signing up for alerts. In this slide, I wanted to focus on both the project's tweeted alert as well as Ryan checking his phone before he goes to bed that night so that he could rest easy. As you can tell, the main points are on the spiral. For the last slide, the golden ratio was applied so that to show that Ryan was able to sleep in, and then the middle section of the slide was purposely kept blank so that the most important elements fell in the spiral of the golden ratio.